I started writing this book back in 2017, but it's something on page 24. It's a letter called Dear Mom. And it's so crazy because I wrote this letter when I was in like 10th grade, and it was a free write, and it just came. I wouldn't just say it just came out of nowhere, but it just came out of nowhere, and I just started writing this letter. And my teacher almost called Child Protective Services on my mom because she's like reading the letter and like she's crying, and I'm looking at her like, Miss, please get on my face. But I'm gonna read some of the letter. Well, I'm gonna read the letter. Dear Mom, I know you're in a better place, but I miss you a lot. We never got the chance to talk and discuss the conflicts of my life. We never talked about how you let that man get away with what he did to me. It changed my life in ways you'll never understand. I never understood why it happened to me. Why did it happen to me? Why does it happen to others? Why does the R word exist? Every man that hurt little kids deserve to the D word, the DIE word. I've always wished bad things upon you. Now look, you're gone. I cry day and night while yelling, come back. But I know there's no coming back. I truly wish RIP meant return in peace. I wish we could have settled this situation. It's hard to forgive and even harder to forget. How can I forget if every time my husband touches me, I get jumpy or scared? How do I explain this to him? I didn't know how he'd take it. I don't know how Daddy hurt his little girl and allowed others to join in. It hurted so badly. He had to plan to harm me the whole day. He bathed me, took me to my room, didn't have enough sense to dress me, but told me to go to sleep. I laid down wishing you were home, but you weren't there to hold me, dress me, or even tuck me in. I got up and put on my nightdress. I went back to bed to go to sleep. I thought I was having a bad dream when I felt a sharp pain in me as I was laying still in my bed. I kept hearing noises and realized I was crying. Someone was hurting me very badly and I was scared. Suddenly, I opened my eyes to see the man who's supposed to be my protector hurting me. My room was very dark and cold. All I could hear was my bed creaking and me crying, calling for my mommy. But you weren't there the night I needed you the most. He had his friends over, and they weren't much help either. I was alone, I was confused and scared. The only question I had for that night was, why me? What did I do? He took something precious from me, something that belonged to my husband. I can't even begin to understand how someone can do something like that to their own child and would even go as far as letting their friends join. They all took turns and wouldn't stop. He must have cleaned me up really well and threw away all the evidence so you wouldn't find anything just in case I told. He never told me not to say anything. Did he think I was too weak to say anything? I needed you so badly and you just weren't there. It's not your fault though. I still loved you and will always love you. Everything happens for a reason, I guess. I miss you a lot and I wish you were here. I just wrote this letter to free my soul. I love you always. Love your daughter, Anise. I wrote this in the 10th grade and I almost got my mother in trouble. I feel like it was sort of like kind of a cry for help because I was going through things and people were doing things to me and I never told my mother about it. So I resented her. More so because she would always say, oh, a mother knows. So I'm like, if a mother knows everything, how come you didn't know that people were doing things to me?